Hello everyone, welcome back to some Gloom. I am DisturbingPuppet. It's been a while since I played this, but I thought since it is now October, the month of spookiness, it would be an appropriate thing. So kind of for the scary month of October and playing Moons of Madness, I thought this would be kind of a nice fun one-off. I do like this game, I just haven't got back to it in a while. Very kind of Addams Family, definitely Edward Gorey inspired for sure. So this is the digital edition of a physical card game, which I do have a couple different versions of. I wish they do like the Lovecraft version of this. Would be kind of cool. But anyway, the point of this game is you have a family. You want to make them as miserable as possible and then have them all die. So the negative things that you play on them basically add up as negative points, and then when you die, it kind of locks in the points, sort of. The cards are clear and then have different values on them, so you can actually play things over one another. So you have sort of a sequence of sort of horrible events that kind of happen to people you can kind of keep track of. So we're just going to play solo. We're going to play with the expansion, which just adds the homes. Since I last played this, there have been a few changes to kind of the way the game looks and works, but not too much. All right, so we can play as Darksden of Deformity, Les Artistes, the Slogars, the Blackwater Clan, Wellington Smythes, and that's it. I do feel like the most Edward Gorey-esque are kind of Les Artistes and maybe the Wellington Smythes. So I do like Les Artistes. Let's play as Les Artistes. And we'll play against the Wellington Smythes. So we'll kind of go through the characters and stuff. I'll show a little bit about how things have changed since I last played. Just in the past, all the characters were on screen at the same time. Now you have to kind of switch between the two families. So this is our family and our family home down here. So we have Marie Delacroix, misunderstood model. She found a way to make her paralyzing fear of clothing work for her. I do love Rousseau, patchwork painter. His dearest Rosalind wishes he'd just send flowers rather than, body parts. Simon Simone, androgynous actor. As far as Simon is concerned, gender is just another role. James De Winter, penniless poet. You have to suffer to write. Apparently James just hasn't suffered enough. We'll fix that. Belladonna, the consumptive courtesan. Once she was consumed by passion, now she's just being consumed. And our home, the Canard Noir, the cursed... should be an either, so cafe. Absinthe makes the heart grow fonder. So the opposing family being the Slogars. We have Melissa Slogar, cadaverous child. It's a shame when a child dies at a tender age, but sometimes it's a shame when she doesn't. Gorgar, work in progress. Professor Slogar is determined to create the perfect groom for her daughter. She still has a ways to go. Professor Helena Slogar, eccentric inventor. Helena enjoys gardening, long walks in the moonlight, and reanimating the dead. Lord Slogar, brain in a box. Lord Slogar's thoughts may be muddled, but Helena assures us that his heart is in the right place. And Elias Igor, itinerant gravedigger. It can be hard for a traveling gravedigger to find jobs, but there's always work at Castle Slogar. And then we have Castle Slogar itself, the weird workshop, a wonderful place to raise a family. From the dead. Alright, so you can kind of see we have sort of these clear cards. There are cards that will kill someone, which I didn't actually get any. There are cards that will affect your kind of family home, which give you immediate negative effects. The other negative effects don't count as points until you kill the person with them. You can play a couple cards on our turn. You can only play deaths on your first action. You can only discard your entire hand, not part of it. Some cards will have additional effects. So you can kind of see we have three different positions here where we have negative effects on the left. Some cards will actually have positive effects that you can play potentially on your own characters, but most likely on the other person. There are different symbols on the right that have to do with certain effects. So this is death, mystery, heartbreak, beast, that kind of thing. So all the different cards have a different effect, different values. So, what's worth the most points? We've got a couple 30 value ones, actually quite a few 30 ones. This one, so arrested for arson. Discard any mysteries on your residence. You can't play a new mystery. So I don't have any mysteries, so it's not a bad one to play. It is worth quite a bit, but I've got other ones that are worth more. So we have Jinxed by Gypsies. Contracted Consumption. Seduced in the Stables. And Suffered from Sores. Well... so that reduces my card limit. Can only play Dagger or Mysteries after that one's in effect. Discard any mysteries on your residence. Can't play any. Draw limit's decreased. Draw limit decreased. I have quite a few draw limit decreases. That's kind of bad, because right now it's 5. If I play more, it'll have a permanent effect of decreasing down 4, then 3, potentially. So I might want to limit those a little bit, even if it is kind of entertaining. Let's see. I think it seems appropriate that Simon Simone was seduced in the stables. You can kind of see as we play the card over, it replaces the information and where all the icons and things go. There's always time for a roll in the hay. Alright, so if I had something else I could play, but if I had like the 25 would take place over the 10, the 15 would replace both. So if it's something I had a negative in the middle, it would be quite good. I could potentially play this, because this is even higher, and then another 15. If I do that, it would be a lot of negative points in one character. It's likely the opponent would try to put something positive on top if he has anything. So it can depend. You might want to spread things out or try to really focus on getting negative points and killing someone right away. But I don't have any death cards, so I might draw one, but if I don't get any and I put everything on one character, a little risky. So what I think I'm going to do, just play one of these negative draws. I don't really want to keep too many of them. The arson one we might hold on to if nothing else shows up that I can put on my home. This one I could potentially put up here as well, so let's play a different one. So I think perhaps the Penniless Poet suffered from sores. Apparently you are a sore loser. Alright, and we draw another negative, but no kills. You can see sort of roughly on his hand. Alyssa Slogar was ruined by rum, the bane of pirates and socialites alike. If they're kills, they'll have sort of a large oval in the middle, because that's where the raven is. And he played... James de Winter was delighted by ducklings. They said the devil adores a duck. So that gives some positive. It's still overall negative, so I can still kill him. And I do have cards that would put negative values there. So the top 2, so I do have one that would do that. I do have something for Castle Slogar if I want. So it would become, or not Castle Slogar, but the Le Canard Noir. It would become Le Canard Noir and the Menacing Menagerie. Worth an additional -5 for each character with the beast icon in your family. So that's the bat. I don't have any now. Well, actually, I do. Because Simon Simone was seduced in the stables, which is rather beastly. Meaning, maybe not seduced by a human? Is that what you're implying? Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not so sure about that. Yeah, so that actually is worth some points. So let's have, it'll become Le Canard Noir and the Menacing Menagerie. So the more beast icons I can have, the better. So just some extra negative points. So -5 here, -5 because I have one beast icon, automatically -10. Alright, I would like to replace these if I can, and I can, but it does decrease my draw limit. Alternatively, I could put it on here, but that would overwrite the beast icon, which I don't like. The duck icon is sort of a random thing, so it doesn't actually affect... But there are cards that will affect for the beast icon. What did I get new? Had a Horrible Holiday. That would discard my hand, but you'd skip your draw phase. So your next turn, you're kind of screwed. I think, even though I don't like it much, I am going to sort of negate this. So James de Winter. So one thing in the physical game, it's very easy to kind of look back on all of the cards. In this, I don't think there's a way to do it unless they've changed something recently. You can only see the top card. So currently delighted by ducklings. I think after being delighted by ducklings, he was jinxed by gypsies. The tall, dark stranger in your future is carrying a scythe. So if I can get a kill, he's a main target for me to finish off to get some points. I did not draw a kill. Okay, still messing with me. After being jinxed by gypsies, he was charmed by the circus. Who doesn't enjoy watching a motley assembly of something or other? Carnival folk or something.
I should study this.
Helena Slogar grew old without grace. So that was a death. So he has a way he can kill someone now. A couple different ways he can kill someone now. But he can only play one a turn. Well, one of them lets you play a couple. I might want to discard some cards, actually. So, end the Tea Time Terror, additional -5 for Goblet Icons. I don't have any Goblet Icons out there. I don't have any in my hand either. I could replace this. I could even go with this. I would lose the -10. Is that now -15? Actually, it's -15 because he has a beast icon now too. Because he was charmed by the circus. It's a motley assortment of freakish folk cavort and caper around. Not carnival folk. So I could do that. I don't really want to play anything that would overwrite the beast icon potentially, if I can avoid it. So I could just kind of spread some things out a little bit. I wouldn't mind discarding some cards because I do want to draw some things to maybe get some deaths. Don't know that I want to drop my card limit any lower. We're at 4, which isn't too bad. I'll keep the mystery on my house. I don't really need this one. It's a lot of points, but I miss out on quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and spread this one out. So who would have a horrible holiday? I think perhaps Rousseau, the patchwork painter, had a horrible holiday. You need to get away from your getaway. So the only way I'll draw is if my opponent plays any cards on my characters that will let me draw. Or plays a card that has that effect on himself. Melissa Slogar was stirred into the stew. That's what you get for being so saucy. And Igor was plagued by the pox. He picked up the pox from a fox in a box. And we get some new cards. 1 kill, so I can kill someone off. Igor was devoured by weasels. Dinner is served. Racking up a bunch of points there. Grogar was badly betrothed. Plague on both your residences. Okay, I still don't have any positive cards. Well, I do, actually. Found a clue in the closet. Draw a card for each mystery icon in play, including this one. It was General Custard in the conservatory. So I could do that. Do you have anybody in, let's put the bottom 2 positions? I can't play it on someone who's dead. It doesn't really affect anyone too much, so I'm mainly looking for someone that would counteract quite a bit. I could potentially make this less one-sided, but I'd rather negate a negative number with a positive if I can. Okay. So I could go ahead and kill someone, and I could get a decent number of points doing it. So I think perhaps Rousseau, who had a horrible holiday, was drowned by a duck. You're going down. Nice chunk of points for me. So I'm actually in the lead. The game ends when one family is all dead. So it doesn't matter if it's your family or the other family. Everyone dies in one family. That's it. Tally the points. To get another one from my house, in the Deadly Bees. If a character in your family has a death icon, anyone can play an untimely death card on that character, regardless of its self-worth. So the death icon being the skull. I don't have any. I don't actually know if I can stack this. I think I can. It just changes the effect. I didn't actually mean to play that. It just sort of happened. I was just looking at it. Helena Slogar ran out of air. It's never appreciated until it's gone. The AI is just murdering off his characters awfully quickly. Oh, something positive. James De Winter was the toast of the town. Enjoy your 15 minutes of fame. Next stop, a lifetime of dull misery. So I am slightly behind at the moment. I might have been better off with the other card. So now it just has sort of a negative effect where my own people can be killed if they're still alive and have the skull icon on them. I can kill someone off, actually. Died without cares, so just zeroes somebody out completely. Who do you have left? Only 2. So I could go ahead and finish off Grogar, potentially, for no point exchange. That's tempting, actually. Perhaps Grogar, who was badly betrothed, died without cares. It does mean the AI might be able to end the game very quickly, because he only has one living person left, and is ahead currently, so that is a bit dangerous. I can't see his hand, so I'm not sure if he has a death card or not. So he could potentially just kill his last remaining person and win because he's ahead, unless I can get any points immediately, but I don't think I can. So I think perhaps James De Winter, who was the toast of the town, pandered to pugs. Pandered to pugs? Just say no to pugs. So that'll change his positives to negatives at least. Doesn't count till I kill someone. I have to discard a couple cards. I'd like to keep the death card if I can. So let's see if the AI actually kills someone immediately. I'm not sure if he has a death. If he does, he might kill his own person. But I think they have to have a negative value to kill them. Okay, not going for the death. James De Winter had a picnic in the park, a jug of wine, a loaf of bread, and a pack of wolves in the woods. Okay, he does have a death. Lord Slogar was mauled by a manatee. They're fierce if you rile them. I love them mauled by a manatee. So now he could kill him. That would be bad. Do I have anything positive? I do. Comforted by Coco. So that would at least put him in the positive range if I did that. What else do I have? I got some events. Out with the old. All other players must discard any event cards and untimely death cards they have in their hand. That's not bad, because it would mean he wouldn't have a kill in his hand. Choose one living character. Discard its top modifier card. Okay, that's interesting as well. So this is all other players must discard any event card and untimely death cards. So that wouldn't affect me. I could go ahead and kill Simon Simone for some points. 30 isn't bad. Worth an additional -10 with the lucre, which is coins or marriage icon. I guess it's a heart. I think that should be that. So Simon Simone, who was seduced in the stables, haven't really had much going on, was slain by an heir. Excellent. You can't take it with you. So that puts me up to 120, which is nice. So I could go ahead and put some positive points on Slogar, or I could get rid of his ability to kill him. I could also just get rid of the card. So I could get rid of the top card on him, but I might want to use that for perhaps James De Winter. So I could get rid of the Picnic in the Park, going back to the negatives. I think what I'm going to do is play Out with the Old. Shouldn't get rid of my own event. So he'll have to discard his kill, so he won't be able to kill anyone on his turn. So instead, Lord Slogar was mauled by a manatee and then sickened by salmon. Fish fowl or foul fish. Okay, he does have a kill card. I do not have a way to kill anyone, which is unfortunate. I do have a positive point value one, though. So I could go ahead and play that. That would actually put Lord Slogar in a positive. I could get rid of the top card, but that's not that big of a deal. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do for James De Winter, who had a picnic at the park, I think he then had an unpleasant surprise.
Such joy cannot last.
So that takes him back to pandered to pugs. And overall negative values. Then I'll go ahead and put the positive value on Lord Slogar here. So Lord Slogar, who was sickened by salmon after being mauled by manatee, was then comforted by Coco. Nothing beats a warm fire, a cup of cocoa, and knowing that all of your enemies are dead. Okay, I was torn limb from limb, I saw. So Lord Slogar, after being comforted by Coco, was shamed by society. Can you blame them? Can you? The audacity! Alright, so I could go ahead and kill another of my family. Torn limb from limb, worth additional -10 with the beast icon. I do have the beast icon because he was pandered to pugs. That seems quite appropriate. So James De Winter, after being pandered to pugs, going to the park, then being pandered by pugs again, was then torn limb from limb.
To be or
Rest in pieces. So classy. Pretty good point value, actually. And I've got a positive. I can kind of mess with Lord Slogar again, so I might as well. So Lord Slogar was shunned by society, and then perhaps was wondrously well wed. Apparently headstones are the in gift this year. I got pushed down the stairs and something else. Alright. You can't kill him, I think, because he's got a positive value. So after being wondrously well wed, Lord Slogar was poisoned by penguins. Penguins are always dressed to kill. Now he discarded his hand. Well, I don't really have any negatives going on. I could start playing some. Fell from on high, worth additional -10 with lucre or marriage. Push down the stairs. It's a stairway to heaven or to hell. Additional -10 lucre or marriage. Same. What do you have on Slogar? So beast and duck. So I could go ahead and kill him and end the game. He would get a grand total of -5 additional points, and that would be it. We'd be done, and I would win. I could try to go for more additional points. I think I'll just go ahead and end it quickly here. So what's most appropriate? Lord Slogar, who was poisoned by penguins, could either fall from on high or push down the stairs. I think the penguins would be most appropriate at pushing him down the stairs.
Oh dear.
So stairway to heaven or to hell. And that's it. So we have a grand total of, I think, 155 on my part, which is pretty good, actually, to 90 for the AI. Not bad. So if I don't get interrupted again, I think I'm going to do another quick one. That one was fairly quick. I was able to kill off one. Actually, he killed off the other family quite quickly. Do the same one-on-one. Let's do a different one. We'll go with Dark's Den of Deformity. And we'll be playing against the Blackwater clans. We get to see all the different families here, I think. But there are additional families in some of the expansions for the physical version of the game. I'm not sure if they're all included in this or not. I haven't seen a copy in quite a while, so I'm not sure how many expansions there are for the actual physical game anymore. Alright, so my family. Darius Dark, the Sinister Ringmaster. The carnival is in Dark's blood, and there's quite a lot of blood in this carnival. Mr. Giggles, the creepy clown. Mr. Giggles always has a smile for the children. Alessandra Deville, the illustrated lady. Sadly, Alessandra's modesty prevents her from sharing her remarkable tattoos with the world. Samson O'Toole, the bearded man. While the bearded ladies are always popular, few people seem interested in Samson's remarkable deformity. We have Thumbelisa, the diminutive diva. Darius Dark would have been wiser to promote Thumbelisa's miniature size instead of her mediocre operatic talents. And we are in Dark's Den of Deformity, the sinister sideshow. It's only the greatest show if you have no alternatives. And we are against... Why is it Les Artistes? I thought it was Blackwater Clan. Okay. For some reason, maybe that's something screwy going on. But I would have sworn it said Blackwater Clan. Maybe I'm just hopeful thinking. Alright, so we have Out with the Old. All players must discard any event cards, until me death cards in their hand. I would have sworn before I could see the opponent's hands. When it's their turn, I can see them. The backs of them. But I think during the regular game, I could see them before. So we have Disgraced at a Dance. We have Terrified by Topiary. A couple deaths, Badly Burned, and Never Returned. So Never Returned is extra with beasts, and I do have a beast one. Goblet. So I think perhaps Terrified by a Topiary makes the most sense. So perhaps Thumbelisa's small size makes her especially susceptible to being terrified by Topiary. For generations we've cut down trees at Christmas time. Now it's payback. I know it said payback time, it just seems better. Now it's payback. And Disgraced at a Dance. That would also kind of make sense for Thumbelina. I could double up and hope that I could get a kill in on her pretty quickly. It does cover up the beast icon, which is unfortunate. So perhaps we'll just spread things out a little bit. Perhaps the illustrated lady was disgraced at a dance. Glass shoes? Good thinking. Lots of killing cards in my hand. Carl Bott. Oh, he's playing stuff on me. Alright, after being terrified by Topiary, Thumbelina, I don't remember what that card was. It was an event, but it got rid of the top card. Unfortunate. Rousseau. Fell in love with a leper. That's pretty appropriate for him, actually. He offered you his hand. No, really. So many missing limbs. So I could go ahead, potentially, and just murder off one of his characters with the Died Without Cares, so worth nothing. We should all be so lucky. That's tempting. I could also potentially kill off the illustrated lady She was drowned by a duck. I have an extra 15 there, so that'd be 35 points. That's also tempting. God, all I have are deaths. There are some... I think there's one that lets you play 2 in a row. But I don't have any of those. So just to get some points, 35 for a character isn't too bad, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So, Alessandra Deville, who was disgraced at a dance, then was drowned by a duck. You're going down. Gives me a little bit of points. I don't have a lot else I could do. I can't play another death. I could play the event, but that's really it. I could go ahead and discard my hand, too. I kind of like having the died without cares. Yeah, let's go ahead and play out with the old. I'm not sure if it actually is going to affect the other opponent. Okay, he did have a death. Draw some additional cards. Carl, what you doing? Belladonna was bedeviled by doctors. Darn those miracles of modern medicine. You can't play untimely death cards. Okay. Rousseau was widowed at the wedding. The bride wore red. So he can't kill anyone right now. But I could kill Rousseau. So I could go ahead and put him at 0. What else did we get? Scarred by Scandal. Discard your entire hand. Old without grace. Randomly discard 2 cards from your hand. Well, I think Rousseau, my friend, who was widowed at the wedding, then died without cares. We should all be so lucky. So I'm just kind of limiting his points. And I wouldn't mind drawing some additional cards. So we could play the Scarred by Scandals and then kind of go from there. I think perhaps Mr. Giggles, the creepy clown, was scarred by scandals. The truth hurts. Give me a chance to draw some different cards. A couple things for my home. Have to check those out on my turn. Oh, Mr. Giggles, who was scarred by scandals, became popular in Parliament. Luckily, the voters are morons. Yeah, I can't imagine him winning an election. And Marie Delacroix was pestered by poltergeists. They're back. He's giving me a bunch of cards, actually. The side effect of the cards he played. I have a huge hand of cards now. No one I want to kill. So many cards. Died old and alone. Had a picnic in the park. Actually, you have... That might be a good choice. Was put into prison. Went mildly mad. Just mildly. Slept without sorrows. Found maggots in the meat. Yeah. Alright, and the Morbid Museum. Worth additional -10 for each mystery beneath this one. Oh, that's cool. And the Tea Time Terror. With additional -5 for each character with a goblet icon in your family. I could actually play both of those. Was written out of the will. Skip your draw phase this turn. Yeah, I could double up potentially on here, so that would give me -10 up there. That wouldn't overwrite it. And this would be worth an additional -10, so that would be -20 points, which is quite considerable. It's not nothing, that's for sure. Could also sort of cancel out the negatives on Belladonna here. I don't know if I'm going to have to discard down to my hand size. Probably. So the chance of having two of these with kind of a positive effect is pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and play these, I think. So we're going to have Dark's Den of Deformity. And the Tea Time Terror. Thunder. So that's worth extra for goblets. Do I even have any goblets? I don't think so. No. So we just get the -10 automatically. So we're going to change it from the Tea Time Terror to And the Morbid Museum. Getting an extra -10. Nope, didn't have to discard anything. That's nice. Alright, Simon Simone was greeted by ghosts. That's what you get for revisiting your old haunts. And discarded his hand. Okay, I have a decent amount of points, but not a ton. I need to do something about Mr. Giggles, who's popular in Parliament. Do I have anything with negatives? At least in the middle would be nice. That's the low? No, that's middle. I don't mind skipping my draw phase. It's not too bad. So perhaps Mr. Giggle, who was popular in Parliament, was then written out of the will. Where there's a will, there's a way. There's a way to get cheated out of your share. Alright, what do we want to do? We do have a way to kind of counteract some negative points. It's not a bad idea. I think perhaps Belladonna, who was bedeviled by doctors, then had a nice picnic in the park. A jug of wine, a loaf of bread, and a pack of wolves in the woods. Simon Simone fell from on high. Sometimes you have to take a dive. And Belladonna suffered from sores. Apparently you are a sore loser. At least I'm counteracting some of that. Okay, I do have a way to get some extra points here. Died old and alone. It can only be played on a character with a marriage icon. What is that, anyway? Oh, that's the lucre. That's coins. So I could kill someone with a marriage icon, which is the heart. I don't see anybody with it. Kind of limits my ability to do stuff there. I do have a positive one. It's in the middle. I could counteract some of this. So perhaps meet Delacroix, who was pestered by poltergeists, then slept without sorrows. Relax, let your worries slip away, and try not to think about Mr. Eyeball Plucker in the closet. Alright. What do we have? Put into prison. Went mildly mad. And found maggots in the meat. Well. This one's worth the most points. It does have a negative effect that I can't play events anymore at all. But I think perhaps Mr. Giggles, who was written out of the will, was then put into prison, where all politicians belong. There's a place for everyone. This is yours. I'd like to get a kill to finish him off. Didn't get one. Belladonna, who suffered from sores, then drowned in a bog. Still waters run deep. He's killing off his characters awfully quickly. Oh no, Mr. Giggles, who was put into prison, was clever at cards. Aces and eights, again. A little bit behind. He's got only 2 left. Unfortunately, he keeps messing with my Mr. Giggles points. Well, I could add some extra value, but I'd rather wait to counteract a negative point. So we could have Mr. Giggles go mildly mad. Or perhaps found maggots in the meat. That's not bad. Yeah, so perhaps Mr. Giggles, who was clever at cards after being put in prison, then found maggots in the meat. Finders keepers. Nothing scarier than a skeleton clown eating maggoty meat. I'm actually going to get rid of the death card because I can only use it on someone with the marriage icon, which is a little hard to do right now. And we'll spread around some other negative points. Jinxed by gypsies isn't bad. Detained by detectives. That's not bad. It wouldn't actually give me a negative effect either. Went mildly mad. I think perhaps Darius Dark himself was detained by detectives. It seems the butler had an alibi. So at least have some other options. I need some kill cards. Come on, give me some untimely deaths. Oh no, Mr. Giggles, who found maggots in the meat, was blessed by the bishop. He also does funerals. Would you like Mr. Giggles to perform your funeral for your dearly departed uncle? Discard any cards into the discard pile. What do I have? I'd like to see what the card does, please. Shunned by society. That is pretty bad. I mean, it's minus 45, but you discard your entire hand and skip your draw phase. That's pretty bad. Trapped on a train. That's fine. Not too bad. Diverted by drink, I kind of want to hold on to. This one's also pretty good. Jinxed by gypsies. Went mildly mad. Yeah, that one has a pretty negative effect, so as long as it's in play, discard a card every time you play a modifier card, so anything with a plus or minus. I think I'll get rid of that. Yeah, that's fine for me. I need untimely deaths. Marie Delacroix pandered to pugs. Just say no to pugs. Okay, I really don't like the positive 20 we have there. I don't have much I can do about it, unfortunately. Only the Shunned by Society card. I could just play that on someone else entirely. I could counteract some of the negatives here. That's not too bad of a choice. So I think perhaps Marie Delacroix, who pandered to pugs, was diverted by drink. A little diversion goes a long way. Limiting her point value to just minus 5 if she gets bumped off. So I could potentially just counter the 0. We could replace everything. Can't play events, isn't too bad. Maybe I'll just do that. It's still minus 20 points if I can kill him off. So Mr. Giggles, who was blessed by the bishop, was then trapped on a train. All stops lead to a bloody death. Still no untimely death cards. Oh no. Marie Delacroix was pushed down the stairs. It's a stairway to heaven or to hell. Yeah, I need some points quickly. The Canard Noir and the Deadly Bees. That was a bunch of points. I might have to discard my hand just to try to get some deaths. I don't have any positives. I could play something else. And the Spurious Tricycle. You can't play event cards. Also, characters in your family can't be targeted or affected by event cards. That would give me an extra -10 instantly. But I think I would lose the -10 that I'm getting here. So it would be a wash either way, I think. Because I'm not going to get that benefit anymore. We're now on this. So in that case, I don't really want to skip my draw phase. What I think I'll do So I think Darius Dark, after being detained by detectives, was then pursued by poodles. They may look silly, but they can strip the meat off a rhinoceros in less than a minute. And then I'm going to discard my hand. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to discard my hand. Which I have to do instead. Just give me a kill. Come on, give me an untimely death. I just need an untimely... No. Fine. I may not win this one, because I just can't get a death. James de Winter was cursed by the Queen. She is not amused. And he discarded his hand as well. But he got a kill. Oh, this is going to be bad. I've got to stop him from killing his own family member. I do have a way to get some positive points. It would still be a negative. I don't think there's anything. Let me look at the other effects. All players, including you, must discard any event cards. Not going to help me. Skip your draw phase. Draw 2 cards. Skip your draw phase. Ah, this is terrible. I don't think there's any way I can win this. So I can sort of negate some of the points, but he's got a way to kill someone in his hand. That's just events. I could potentially play this just to draw some cards, but then I can't kill anyone. So I think what I'm going to do, just in case, so Thumbelisa landed a legacy. So in this case, I'm doing this so I can draw the cards myself. That's a goodwill. Alright, there's a kill, but I can't play it because it's not the first action. Unless it said otherwise. Additional 10 with the death icon. I don't have the death icon anywhere. And all I can really do is sort of limit. I thought I had something that had positive points on it. Oh, that's the one I just played. I'm an idiot. I was hoping I could do something there, but yeah, there's nothing I could really do. Alternatively, I could have played that here, but he'd still be negative. He still could have killed him. Had a horrible holiday. Consumed from within. Murdered a magistrate. Menaced by mice. Taunted by tigers. Mauled by a manatee. I do love mauled by a manatee. So if I play this on him, he'd discard his hand and skip his draw phase. That might give me a turn. Let's see, I'm not sure exactly when the timing works here, so let's see if this will actually work. So James de Winter was cursed by the Queen, then had a horrible holiday. So I'm playing a negative just for this. So he'll discard his hand, he'll skip his draw phase. I'm not sure if he'll just immediately draw cards. I think it's at the end of your turn that you draw, so we went through a turn fine. Okay, so that was it. Kind of limited what he could do. All right. So I can get some extra points. He's going to get 40, which is a lot of points. So I'll put him to 130. There's no way I can beat that. I'm just kind of buying time, really, is all I'm doing. I didn't get anything that could counteract that. Skip your draw phase, skip your draw phase, a couple of those. So I could go ahead and kill one of my people just to get some points. I could get 20 points or 35, but that's all. So Darius Dark was consumed from within. What a way to waste away. Okay, now I can see his hand. I don't know why sometimes I can see it and sometimes I can't. Maybe he doesn't have one when I can't see it. I'm not sure. So he does have a way to kill James de Winter. So again, I'm in that situation where there's nothing I can really do. Events aren't untimely deaths. Don't have anything positive I can play. All I can really do is put some more negative effects on my own people, potentially. I don't want to skip my draw phase either. Most likely he's just going to kill him right at the beginning of the turn, and that'll be it. Play this one. I could play it on him, or we could play it on Thumbelisa. So that would go from a minus 20 to a minus 45 if we played this there. So yeah, sure. Mr. Giggles, who was trapped on a train, murdered a magistrate. Court adjourned. Kind of discard any event cards. I don't think he has any events. Still didn't get any untimely deaths. But this will be it here. He's just going to kill his last person off, I think. Yep. So James de Winter died of sheer shame. Once bitten, twice dead, apparently. The game is over. Didn't get enough points. He was very fast at killing off his people there. So that seems to be about what I do. Is most of the time I win, but it's about half the time you just sort of end up, depending on the card draws and things, not being able to get it off the way you need. The AI does seem a lot faster at killing its own players than it was before the last time I played. It could just be sort of some random AI stuff going on, but yeah, I definitely do enjoy this game. I really like the art style a lot. What I like to do with the physical version is when someone dies, I'll go back through kind of in sequence and go through and sort of look at the events of their lives, but I don't see a way to do that in this. I didn't notice that early on when I first played it, and it doesn't seem like there's a way to do that now either. I don't necessarily like the way that they have things organized with swapping between the two families, but it probably makes things a little easier to keep track of for some people. I just like being able to kind of see everything all at once at a glance. I'm not sure if that's because of the expansion, adding the extra space you need for the family home or if it's something that's been in there for a while. Anyway, that has been Gloom. It's been a while since I played this. I just wanted to get back to it. But being as it's Halloween coming, it's October now, Gloom's the game to play. So I'm going to continue playing other scary games. Right now, just Moons of Madness. If I finish Moons of Madness before the end of the month, I'll play something else a little spooky, but maybe we'll come back and play Gloom a little bit more as well. So hopefully you enjoyed. I've been Disturbing Puppet. This has been Gloom. Thanks again. Hopefully I will see you another time. Have a good one.